Three, two, one. We're live.
We're live.
Hana, Radi, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.
Okay, so how did this start? We were at the TEDx WWF in Abu Dhabi.
Right.
All right. 5 years later, we were on the phone. We discussed doing a podcast, which we have to redo, and now you're on the podcast.
Yeah. Yeah, and I've been listening to your podcast and found them so inspiring. So this is a big deal for me that I get to share some content on your podcast too. Maybe
Thank
some
you.
other person will get inspired. That's the goal.
They will. They will. They will. Inshallah.
Yeah.
So I have to get it right. Inspirational
Fitness.
role model.
Role model is the keyword. Yes.
Yes, perfect. That's
Yes.
what you do. I think you do a lot more, but I need you to tell me exactly what you do in detail, because it was one post that you posted on Instagram 3 months ago or 2 months ago.
Yeah, I think it was 2 months ago.
Right.
I posted a transformation.
Yes, and it was 79 kilos, right? Was that the number? To 79 kilos in a year.
That one. Because I posted 2 transformations.
Yeah, I'm talking about the same number.
The second one.
The same way.
The one that's same.
And for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, you want to tell them what it is?
Yeah. Okay, so basically in September 2017, which was just a few months ago, I was a bit like overweight in terms of fat, but I had a lot of muscle mass because I'd been lifting weights consistently for 6 years. I really got into fitness, and I found that it was so empowering, and I just kept setting fitness goals like to lift a certain weight, and I kept achieving them, and I felt great, but I wanted others to feel great, so I tried to pass on that knowledge, but for some reason I found that the ladies weren't really listening, and they kept saying the same phrase. They kept saying, "We don't want to get bulky," and I'm just like, "But you won't get bulky," and they still weren't listening. And then I looked at myself in the mirror. I was like, "That's why they're not listening, girl. Like, you need to be the change, right? So I need to be a good example myself." So I went on a journey in September 2017, and I set a 12-week goal to December to cut the fat so that they can see the muscle mass and see that muscle mass, like 1 pound of muscle would be like this, while 1 pound of fat would be like this. So a person weighing 79 kilos and has more muscle mass would look different than someone who has more fat and is 79 kilos. And that was the point I was trying to prove. So I did that, and mainly what drove me was that my mom and aunt wouldn't lift any weights, and they would just want to do cardio. And that really hurt me because for the last 6 years, that's all they've been saying. Come on, just go do some cardio, go do yoga. What's this weightlifting you're doing? And okay,
I'm going to show it. At some point, we'll have the technology to just hit a button, but for now, this is it. So we're talking about, how long did this take?
So in 2017, I started lifting and exercising in 2000.
September, right?
That was after a Spartan race. I think that was in...
The one we did in Abu Dhabi?
Yeah, I think that was in
we did it in ours was a red medal.
It wasn't yours. There was one before that.
Okay, fair enough.
So it was probably
before March.
Probably February.
Yep.
Definitely
before
February.
March.
So yeah, I had some muscle, but as you can see, it didn't show that much because it was still covered in some fat. So that's it. So I dropped the fat, and alhamdulillah, I reached the goal. More ladies were asking questions. Okay, how do we do the same? I told them you have to lift weights. They were so shocked. They were like, "You reached this through?" I was like, "Yes." So now every time someone says we don't get bulky, I go, "Oh, you're
proof of concept." There we go.
That makes me so happy because then I started training people on the side, and I became like a certified personal trainer, not just from knowledge but through textbook as well. Now I have.
So you learned it. You're certified.
So I've always been learning since I started in 2011. I was an engineer studying engineering by day and exercising and learning by night. And I did that until now. And now I just got a piece of paper that says you can teach someone to do the same. And that's my goal. So now, when I said I achieved my goal, now my mom, she starts working out with me every morning.
There you go.
She's the one who wakes me up like at 7, like, come on, girl, like let's go to the gym. I'm like, oh, like it's 7. She's really into it.
What are you doing in bed at 7? You got to be awake at 6. But the idea is, let me rephrase what you just said. You went from the first picture that we just showed to the second one. You maintain the same weight, but you burn a lot of fat, and you got a lot of muscle without looking bulky.
Right.
In other words, you lost a lot of weight,
Yeah.
and say that you weren't overweight in the first place, but you got into better shape without necessarily having to change your weight. So you can have somebody who's 80 kilos who's this big, and somebody who's 80 kilos who's this big.
Yes.
And they both have the same weight, but completely different physiques and different
body
health.
composition.
Yes.
Yes. So people who have more muscle mass and less fat tend to look leaner. So the picture I showed was 79 in both February and February, but throughout the year it kept fluctuating, obviously. So at 79, I actually went up even more to 84. I gained even more fat, and then I dropped down to 79, and then I stayed there while I was powerlifting to gain some more muscle mass. And then at the transformation date, the recent one, the 12-week one, I dropped from 79 to 71, and that was a bit of muscle too.
79?
79.
To 71, fair enough.
71.
Okay, not bad. 8 kilos and 12
Yeah.
weeks, not bad.
And then in end of December until now, my goal was to increase the muscle mass again. So I did that and gained a bit of fat too, just so I can have some energy while training. And then I took my weight and it was 79. And I looked at the previous picture and I found that it looks so different. And I'm not a fan of the scale for this reason. So
you have to use the right scale.
Just use the mirror.
Yeah.
The mirror is your best friend. You're not going to walk around with a number saying, oh, Hassan, you weigh this much. Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Unless you're competing and you have to be at a certain weight, there's probably almost no need for a weight scale unless you have a health condition. Unless you want to measure certain things, the mirror is enough.
Yeah.
If you look fit, do you really care if you're 78 or 79?
Right.
It won't really make a difference. And people get into a negative spiral because they look at the number and they freeze at the number. And I've had a lot of clients who, oh my God, I'm stuck at the same number. All right, but did you go down in fat or did you go up in muscle? We don't know. We're looking at the number.
Right.
The number is a combination of 3 or 4 different things. But a lot of people get stuck on that.
Yeah.
You know.
So I've never been a fan of getting stuck on the number, but when for 12 weeks straight that is your goal, to get the number down, your psychology kind of changes. So my psychology started to become about aesthetics and how I look like rather than how I perform.
Exactly.
So I did sacrifice some muscle and some strength to look a certain way. So by the end of the 12 weeks, I was a different person mentally, and okay, I reached my goal physically, but I wasn't super happy about that. So that's why I set a new goal. I don't know if I told you about...
Which one?
The person I am now is a person who is trying to... so I'm currently doing another transformation, but through athletics, not aesthetics. So performance training. So if you set performance goals, like Hassan, let's say your goal is I want to do 20 pull-ups, you will look like someone who can do 20 pull-ups without risking like your strength. Like you will reach your aesthetic goals through your athletic goals.
Yes.
So you have both. And yes, it may take a month longer, but the payoff is you'll be able to walk into any obstacle course, for example, and like be able to lift yourself over the bar, or you're able to perform better. And that's what fitness is all about. It's about being able to do more.
The 30-day program that I told you about over the phone.
Yes.
I'm going to probably do that. Probably have once a week the performance test to do the pull-ups or the push-ups or the bag work or whatever it is. Yeah. Probably have to come up with something. Good job with that.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, it really is a system. I think. I always say it's a system. build a stack of books, you need to get a book and put another one. And if you violate the laws of gravity, it's not going to work. Doesn't matter if you're a nice person, or not. You have to follow the science. And with weight control or getting healthier or getting fitter to achieve your performance goals, you have to follow a system. If you overeat in terms of calorie intake, what did you call it?
Calorie surplus
Yes.
versus calorie deficit.
Yes. A lot of people don't get it, that it's as simple as calories in
Versus calories out.
calories out, or what you eat minus what you burn is what remains.
Right.
So it's really math.
Right.
And you could predict where a person is going to be if they're honest with you and they tell you how they're going to eat over the next 30 days or 30 weeks or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Isn't it? It's math.
It is. At the end of the day, the only thing I changed to drop all that weight was, like you're saying, it's all about math.
Yeah, go on.
So I increased my energy expenditure through adding in a half hour of cardio in the morning and a half hour of cardio at night, as well as my usual weight training. But the weight training was different in a way in the 12 weeks, and that had a higher tempo. So there was less rest. So my
Heart rate is always
heart
up.
rate was always up, exactly. And at the same time, my calories were decreased, so I was in a deficit. So I had high protein intake, and I cycled the carbs around the training session. So it was a smart deficit in that I wouldn't have carbs at night because carbs are for energy. So I used them in training. And then at night, I would have higher fats. I'd have like an avocado. So it was just about where I was placing those meals and sleeping enough. And that was it. And just stay consistent. It's just as simple as programming something that works for you.
Yeah.
You're in a deficit. You love what you're doing. And you're consistent. So I always say that the 3 keys to success, and I write this down every single day in my journal, and I say it to everyone, is discipline, consistency, and faith.
I like that.
Faith is important because you need to know that you're going to achieve your goal. So throughout the 12 weeks, every morning when I was doing cardio, and every night, I would picture the person I want to become. I would picture the things I want to say to people. And alhamdulillah, it was so crazy how this one scenario I kept picturing happened. And when I was in it, I was shocked. Like, I kept picturing myself coaching a group of ladies. I was like, I don't know how this is going to happen. I don't even know if it's possible, if these ladies can even listen to me. But subhanAllah, within in January, I found myself in the middle of coaching 2 ladies, beginners, at a deadlift. And I didn't realize that I'd achieved that goal until I sat and reflected, which is so important. My next point is journal your progress, because throughout this journey of yours, whatever it may be, you're gonna have downtimes.
Yeah.
So when you're having a downtime, which is so normal, that's where faith comes in. Believing yourself. An easy way to do that is to look back at where you started. So look at your journal. Look at what you were able to do before and what you can do now. Maybe for you it's an aesthetic goal. So take measurements. Maybe your waist is a bit smaller. Maybe you can do one more burpee. Like, whatever it is, just give yourself credit for the fact that your hard work is paying off, so that it can be fuel for you to keep going.
Yeah. Now, you mentioned a journal.
Yes.
You know where I'm going with this. A lot of people don't use journals.
Oh my God.
A lot of people don't.
Such a beautiful.
It is. The idea of a journal is to write down what you eat and how you train, right? Or the performance result, right?
Or even how you think. So at the end of each day, I would sit and reflect upon my day, and
I'm going to be honest with you. I don't necessarily use a journal in terms of writing it down, but I do have a routine of training. I know exactly what it is. And in terms of food, if I'm competing, I'm very strict. If I'm not, then I make sure, with drinks, I'm very strict. 0 tolerance. But with food, I could have the sandwich every now and then, or this burger, or whatever it is. But if it's competition, it's starvation mode, and you remember. But in terms of people who don't use journals, who don't know what they're doing, why is a journal important?
For people who don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
So,
For somebody who's, let's say somebody who's 150 kilograms overweight, or 150 kilos, and they've never used a journal before.
okay.
what would you recommend? Why is a journal important?
First of all, it holds you accountable to what you said, because I know sometimes when you have bad days, you can just say, "Halas, I'll start tomorrow." Like, I'll restart tomorrow. And then you end up just messing up on that day. Like, I know that from my own personal previous experience as well as clients' experiences. So instead of doing that, because it puts you off track, and then it takes a lot of work to get back on track, and then just keep going off and on, it's so draining. So, I mean, leave it yourself through your journal. So start writing down, for example, let's say Hassan, 80 kilos, 2-week goal, 1 pull-up. That's the goal. How? Negative pull-ups, day 1, 2 reps, day 2, 3 reps. And then each day, do what you said you're going to do, and like put a tick next to it. It gives you that dopamine.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, like, yes, I did 2 pull-ups, and tomorrow you'll be like, I wrote 3, I'll do 4, you know? Like, you'll start really believing in yourself. Like, I always say, self-belief is like a muscle. Like, the harder you train it, the stronger it becomes.
Yeah.
So then the more you achieve things, the more you want to do. And that transitions not just into fitness, it transitions into your work. Like, I used to go into the office at 9 a.m. and leave at 6 p.m. Before work, I used to train from 6 to 8. And I used to walk in like with so much focus. I used to complete my tasks on time, with good energy. Then at the end of the day, I would do some cardio, let's say. But it transitions into your day. It gives you that self-confidence when you go home to your family and you're preparing healthy meals for them. You're trying to make them feel as good as you feel. So it just becomes like a ripple effect.
People around you get influenced by it. They get affected.
Yes.
And
Yes, it does.
yeah. The beautiful thing is, I have from the martial arts team that I train, we have anywhere from right now from a 9-year-old kid all the way to 45, 46, a 46-year-old lady. You met her. That could drop every single person in the gym. And these guys, when I give them a certain number, a certain task, they want to crush it. I have a 12-year-old that could land 8 punches in 1 second on the bag on the opponent. You know what I mean? We gave we had a tournament, the one you were in Abu Dhabi. By the way, she drove all the way from Abu Dhabi to be on the podcast. It's amazing. And I challenged him. I told him, listen, aim at this number. When we competed with with a boxing team in 2012, I gave them. It was a mini Olympics. It wasn't a boxing contest. So it was we had running, they had rowing, there's many different Olympic type races, or let's say maximum push-ups in a minute, or whatever the number was, or whatever they had jump rope and pull-ups and everything. And I gave these guys Olympic world records to break, Guinness World Records. I told them, all right, push-ups, aim at that number per minute. The sprint, let's say the 1 kilometer, I think it was a 1 kilometer sprint, aim at that number. They didn't break it, obviously, but they got so close to the point that when they were competing against everybody else who was just going to the gym to train and going to the gym to win, they were trying to be a higher number. So they were on a different level than everybody else. And we won. We got 16 medals in the tournament. And we got gold in every category. We won all 5 categories.
So that's beautiful. Yeah. What Hassan just said, it's very important to emphasize what's happening behind that mindset, which is set higher standards than what you think you're capable of, because then that pushes you to go beyond what you think your limit is, and set goals that are scary. Don't just set something here, set something here, because even if you do achieve something, it will be greater than the standard that you thought you were at, and that just also reinforces the self-belief thing again.
Yeah, it absolutely does. And you know, I'm doing the transformation in about 2 weeks, so I'm eating whatever I want right now, because I know in the 30-day period it's going to go down again. And the reason I know I'll get the number is I've done it before. So when you do that again and again and again, you build momentum moving forward. So I'm training one of the university teams here in Dubai, and I gave them a challenge that if anybody breaks the record of maximum push-up, my record of maximum push-ups in an hour, they get a reward out of it. So a lot of these guys called me afterwards, sent a message. So what was the number again? Okay, great. So how did you do? What do we need to do? And they push forward. Once you give them a target, once you tell them, all right, aim at that, it's in your head. And a lot of people I know put a picture of their opponents on their desk or on their on their phone. Not on the phone. They put a picture of their target. Let's say 100 push-ups in a minute or whatever the number is. They're competing. They put a picture. All right, I'm going to beat this guy. Or they draw a picture. They design a picture. Who did it? Conor McGregor? No, not Conor McGregor. Chris Weidman. He had a cardboard where he wrote down, "I will defeat Anderson Silva on July or whatever the date was, and become the middleweight champion of the world." Now, mind you, the other guy hasn't lost in forever. He's considered the greatest of all time, the Muhammad Ali of MMA, and this kid comes out of nowhere and knocks him dead, knocks him out. And everybody went crazy, like, what just happened? And they had an immediate rematch just to... So this thing of putting that goal into perspective is very, very important, because then you can put the discipline behind it and have faith that you can get it because somebody else got it.
Yeah.
Every goal that you want to achieve, somebody else has achieved.
Yeah.
So...
And you just have to find the way that works for you. So that's what I mean, discipline, consistency, faith. And journal it down, because then that way you're able to visualize the whole journey. So like you're saying, whether it's writing down a phrase, like maybe you can just write down a picture yourself actually achieving that goal and write it down. Like, I am so happy now that I did 20 pull-ups. I feel so strong.
Yeah.
My back feels so much stronger. That's it. So then, because I once read this thing that said, like, your mind doesn't know the difference between something imagined and it actually happening. So that's the thing. Just keep imagining what it is you want. Maybe your goal is as simple as to lose weight. Okay, keep picturing yourself maybe at the summer destination that you have planned or booked. How you're going to look like, how you're going to feel, how you're going to be walking around with your kids and your husband, feeling energetic, able to just run into the sea and just feeling beautiful wind in your face, feeling strong. So all of that will just give you so much energy in that moment to keep on going. And that's why journaling is important. Whether it's, you can do it your own way. Maybe you're not a writing person. That's fine. Just print out some pictures.
Yeah,
like Hana was saying, print out some pictures. Put it in front of you. I feel like it's important to have a reminder every now and then, just for those downtimes, because we're human. We have them. We're not always motivated. So whether it's someone to hold you accountable, which is lovely. If you have a partner or someone to keep you accountable to your goal, that's beautiful. But if you're not, or if you don't have a partner and you're doing this alone, you're not really alone. Like, you can have an inner conversation with yourself.
I always say it's better to train with a team. So, we have a WhatsApp group with over 100 members on it, and everybody on the team. And if somebody says, "Oh, I can't make it to," let's say, the boot camp on Saturday morning, you get 35 people saying, "What are you doing?" You have to show up. So it's always the average of the group. And we usually do trainings on the beach at 6 a.m. and we have a bunch of people running, let's say 25 people running, or let's say whatever. And one guy is slowing down, he has to speed up. He has to. You're all connected. So if one backs out, everybody pushes it, right? If one does better, everyone's like, "Oh, no, we could do that. Oh, that's possible. So let's go for that."
So you become the 5 people you surround yourself by. Right?
Yeah.
However many people. So just keep surrounding yourself with people who think like you, have the same mindset, who have the same core values, and maybe you're training with that person one day.
I'll tell you this. The clients that I currently have that I do one-on-one training, and I'll keep the name out of it for discretion, but I've always visualized myself working with high net worth individuals. I've always visualized myself working with certain individuals, and I said, you know what? In my mind, I painted that picture that it was already happening, and it is. you'd be surprised. With the competition, in 2010 and 2012, we had a competition in Dubai, and I visualized myself getting the trophy, the medal, being on stage, receiving it, no problem, beating the opponents. And when we got it, when we walked on stage, it was that. It was more of, it wasn't a surprise, it was, we did it. And we saw the pictures. It was very interesting to see, because the brain, you just said it, the brain does not know the difference. If I were to tell you to imagine a spider, or eating on a lemon, and it's very sour, people would, you didn't touch a lemon. There's no lemon here, but your brain thought about it and made you feel it. So if you were to feel confident about your goal, it's an illusion. You're hallucinating. And if you were to feel the lack of that confidence, you're hallucinating. None of it is real. So if you're going to feel something, you might as well feel confident. You might as well feel, it's doable, because it is. You know what I mean? Whether it's getting a visa, or getting to a country, or getting or breaking the record, or doing those 20 pull-ups, or getting to that goal, it's all possible.
Even if it's simple as, because some people here might be tuning in from the non-fitness industry, even if it's as simple as writing a report. Sometimes in the office, I would have been so low on energy, and I have a report to finish, and it's by the end of the week, let's say.
Yeah.
But I sit there and I go like, what if I can finish it by today? And then I start imagining how it would feel like if my boss's face, like you said end of the week, but I finished it today. Wow, that would feel amazing. So it actually made me type faster. And then my thoughts, I was like, okay, I need a coffee. I go get a coffee and push me to fit. And I did it. And I was like, wow. That's when I started, okay, there's something behind this. And it just gives you such a good feeling to be able to do something you thought you couldn't do just because you envisioned it in a certain way. It just gives you so much power in that moment.
It's that 100%. I've been there. It's that block that people have that, that's not possible, or it's going to take time, right? And in sales and influence, they teach you to convince the person that you can get it done, and you can get it done now. So sometimes I would say, all right, that thing that I'm doing, let me do it. Let me do it right now. Just go. And that 5-second rule we talked about, that you get it done, and then you say, whoa, that thing that I was pushing away for years, or for months, or for days, and God forbid years, in a day it's completed, or in an hour, depending on the task. I wonder what I could do now. And then you build momentum, then you shatter limiting beliefs. Because I think the game is played in your head. And if you stay in your head, you're dead. Literally. So you have to know how to maneuver around that blockage that we create. And we are helped to create. Because people tell you, wait a minute, no, you can't do that. You know what I mean? Starting a business with no experience in that, or with no money? No, you can't do that. You can do anything you want. You can't. You just have to figure out how, and not doubt yourself on the way to your goal. I mean, who would have thought that because your transformation was unbelievable, and I always thought you were fit. Transformation. What are you talking about?
But it didn't look like it.
You knew you were fit, but other people.
I knew I was fit, but it didn't look that way.
Yeah.
So it was frustrating trying to relay knowledge through an image that wasn't perceived as like, fit for other people.
Yeah.
So I did that just because I knew I could. And it was just a matter of doing it.
It's just a matter of doing it,
yeah. So it's just discipline, consistency, faith.
When's your book coming out?
My book. Interesting.
Spoiler alert.
So I love that you said that, because now I'm already picturing the book, and it feels so good.
I have a thing for hypnosis yet.
You always put ideas in my head. I think if I were to have a book, it would consist of
when you have a book, yeah.
Okay, you want to set a goal? Be accountable?
Yeah, exactly.
Fine.
Where else should we do?
Set the beautiful date of September 2018, because that was when I started my journey. September 2017.
Oh, excellent, great.
So the year I feel my journey, I would like to get people to know where to start, not just on a physical level, but their mindset too, because it's all about having a healthy mindset, setting realistic, achievable goals, holding yourself accountable, enjoying the process, knowing that you can do it. So, discipline, consistency, faith. Your 3 building blocks to achieving whatever it is you want.
You're signing my copy. That's
So
it.
it just happens to be fitness for me, but you can honestly apply this to anything in your
It
lifestyle.
transcends. It goes to different areas, right?
Yeah.
Whether you're a student, whether you're starting a business, whether you're an athlete, or whether you're a stay-at-home mom wanting to do better as a human being,
Yeah.
you could always use the same system.
Yes. So my mom, whenever we're training together, I always talk to her like while we're doing lunges. So I go like, Mom, imagine we're in Egypt and we're doing lunges in public and everyone's like, oh, look at that fit lady. If she can do it, we can do it. And then she would smile in that moment. She'd be so happy because I can see that now it seems like lunges is not that big of a deal. It's going to inspire people.
Yeah.
And it became something she dreaded to do to something she enjoys doing. And now she does them Radi, like with supersets. And like, it used to be her weakness and now it's becoming her strength. Just through that process. So it's important how you see yourself. So always talk to yourself like you would to a child. Like you would never tell a child, you're so weak. That's so mean. Just tell the kid like, hey, like you're doing great. Like you're so strong. You're so confident. Or even more powerful. Say I am. Anything after I am is an affirmation. So wake up in the morning, even if you're tired, because like I always wake up like sore from somewhere. And I go like, no, I am strong. I am, this, that.
I'm getting stronger.
Yeah.
The soreness.
I'm. You know what? Maybe I don't feel strong that day. I don't want to say strong. I'll say I'm disciplined. I'll say that.
Yeah.
And then throughout the day, that's the word I'm trying to project. Today I am disciplined.
Yeah.
So I don't. So like, let's say there's a chocolate bar in front of me. I don't tell myself, you can't have that. No, I tell myself, I don't want that. I don't need that. Because it doesn't go in line with the core values I put in for myself.
Because you know where you want to go. It's a point I want to touch on. You have an image of who you are and what your legacy is going to be and who you want to become.
Right.
And who Hana Radi is. So for you, if I were to do that or eat this or say that, it does not match the vision.
It's not aligned.
Right? It's not aligned, exactly. But if I eat that, no, that's going to make this vision become a reality even more than it already is. And the more you do it, the more momentum you build.
Right.
If you have clarity of what your legacy is going to be, and it's in alignment with you. In other words, you enjoy it, you're happy with it. Because if those two don't connect, I would say it won't work.
Right.
You have to have clarity and desire for that goal to become a goal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And as clear as you can, as specific as you can. Don't just say I want to get fit. What does fit mean?
Yeah.
If you want to look like, Brock Lesnar, you got to lift a lot of weight. If you want to look like Bruce Lee, you got to do a completely different routine.
Yeah.
So it's very important to be clear where you want to go.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And maybe you don't know what kind of qualities this person that you're going to be has. So like maybe you just know I want to be fit, but you're not really sure what that means. So you know what? It's fine. You can cheat. So what you can do is you can go online and you can look at people you admire, people you're inspired by, people who have already achieved that goal you want. So look at them and look at how they think, look at how they perform. This is gonna sound really off coming from a girl, but I watched Pumping Iron a lot because Pumping Iron is a documentary about bodybuilders and Arnold Schwarzenegger. So I loved watching it because I loved their mindset and how disciplined they were and how every moment of each day they were posing and they were just working towards what they wanted. So in order to be Mr. Olympia, you had to be Mr. Universe, and like there was a system, and every day they would go to the gym together and they would it was like a wolf pack. So I loved that. So they were always in that mindset, and Arnold always knew he would win. He just had that confidence, and because
he knew. He just knew. It's not. I'm hoping, or he thought he would, or he knew. It was as knowing as if I reach for that pen, I can reach and pick up that pen. It's knowing.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't know what that feels like, but some people who've had success in a certain game, a certain area, know they're going to get it done, right?
Exactly.
And you know, if you were to be challenged right now to do a certain performance, and let's say you could do 10 or 15 or 20 pull-ups right now. Let's say your target is 35 nonstop. You know that eventually, if you do the proper training, you'll get there.
Yeah.
No doubt in your mind.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
With a plan, definitely.
And patience. Don't ask for the goal to happen
patience,
tomorrow.
Of course, that's where the whole writing it down comes along, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's okay. Just know that whatever you set, know that it's worth it. It's worth the time you're putting in, and just be patient. And because it will take a long time, you're gonna have to find joy in the journey. Find joy in the little things, in the little achievements. Celebrate them. So what I love to do is every time I achieve something in my journal, I treat myself. So I recently got my nails done. That was my latest treat. And I do stuff like that because it makes me feel good. And I know
that's serotonin, isn't it?
Yeah.
Your self-reward? Yeah.
I think so. It's serotonin, yeah. So doing that keeps you also like on track and accountable. So if I feel like cheating, I'll look at the journal and say, okay, did I earn one? Okay, tomorrow you earn one. And then I program it in. So it's not a cheat day. It's like a healthy meal. So I'll have like more bananas than usual. I'll have an apple. Like I'll just increase the carbs that day from healthy sources because it's aligned with my core values of I want to increase my performance. So to increase your performance, why would you go off track and eat sugar? But it just causes inflammation. So just have something that would actually enhance your performance next day. Like I don't know, more sweet potato has antioxidants, for example.
Chocolate.
Chocolate. Maybe some dark chocolate.
Real chocolate.
Oh, like cocoa.
Yeah.
I don't know where you would get that. That sounds good.
No, I haven't. I haven't at home. I always say, I never call it dark chocolate. I call it chocolate. Because people automatically say, oh, you mean, no, chocolate, the one you get from a tree. Tomato, chocolate, same thing. Yeah. It's amazing. I used to have it every day with my smoothie. I haven't been having smoothies for a while, but I would have it every single day with my smoothie in the morning.
But that's nice. So you make your own smoothies?
Yeah, I've learned how to make my own ice cream, raw vegan, no sugar, no dairy. Imagine that. I've learned how to make my own smoothies, and I've learned how to make what else? So I suck at the kitchen. I'll tell you right now. I'm learning. What was it?
But I like that you said that you're learning.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
How did you feel after?
Yeah, and I make my juices now. So not fruit, but green juices. So I've got the machines and I've got the recipes. How did I what?
Having made your own smoothie.
Yeah.
How did that make you feel?
I would never ever pay for it again. I mean, I know how to do it. It's a lot more affordable. You'll be surprised how much money you're spending, or you say it's not a big deal about the money, but it's more you can do it anytime. Oh yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Listen, I overdose. Instead of having one glass, I would have the entire bottle at one go. Chocolate smoothie, strawberry, you name it, anything.
And that's what's beautiful about preparing your own meals. If you prepare your own meals, then you know the effort that went into it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you enjoy the meal more. So you're less likely to overindulge in that moment. So you know how much effort went in it. Wow, like those roasted mushrooms took me so long to get seasoned just right. Enjoy every single bite. And you could just, first of all, don't eat while you're standing up. Like, make your meal, put it on a plate, sit down, be mindful that this is my meal for the next 20 minutes. I'm going to sit and enjoy it. So I'm going to chew really slowly. I'm going to put my knife and fork down. Yeah, my fork and knife down. Yeah. I'm going to put it down. I'm going to chew. Like, it doesn't have to be like a weapon. Like, we're constantly just like in and out. And no, just like, okay, chew it.
It's a
enjoy
good
it.
idea to put a timer. Put, let's say, a 20-minute countdown, and you have to eat the whole thing within 20 minutes. And if you eat earlier, you lose.
Yeah.
Kind of game, you know, to keep you motivated. Because a lot of people want to rush it.
Yeah.
Take your time.
Some people might not have the time to sit and like do that for 20 minutes. Maybe you're at work, let's say. So at work, I used to pack smaller meals. So I used to have like a bit of broccoli with a bit of chicken, and then in 10 minutes I would sit and enjoy that little meal. And then I'd have some almonds on the table so that when I'm writing a report, let's say, I can just like chew as slow as I want to. I'm typing a report, you know? So make it fit your schedule. And we were talking about this the other day. There isn't, I'm sorry to break it for you guys, but there is no magic diet or pill.
Magic pill. There's no magic pill.
But definitely there isn't a one way to reach your goal. Every person's lifestyle is different, and every person's body is different. Every person's mind is different. Whatever is going to relax your mind and work for you in your busy life and your busy schedule, do it. At the end of the day, we were just saying it all comes down to calories in versus calories out. So it's very important that those calories in are also good quality calories. So you want to make sure your carbohydrate or your fats, let's say, you want to make sure they're not from McDonald's. You want to make sure they're from healthy fats, nuts,
Avocados. That's what I usually do.
avocados. So just be honest with yourself, and you don't have to have it in like 5 meals every 2 hours. You could maybe 2 meals works better for you. So just know that, like, also prepare it in advance. Then you're not thinking about it throughout the day. Like, you prepare it in advance, you just grab it, it's ready to go for your day, and then you're focused on your day and what you're achieving throughout the day rather than, oh, what am I going to eat, and then, because where you put your energy is also important. You have a limiting amount of willpower. And if you drain it throughout the day through, I shouldn't have this, you're draining that willpower store.
Yeah.
You want to keep it for more important things. So just prepare in advance.
One of my teammates would prepare his food on the weekend, Friday or Saturday, I'm not sure what day, and he would spend about 4 hours in the kitchen, prepare the rice, the brown rice, prepare the chicken, prepare the broccoli, prepare the steak, and whatever. He literally prepares the whole thing, and every day in the morning, what he would do is, if I'm not mistaken, every day in the morning, all right, puts it into the 5 boxes, into the lunchbox that he has, and it takes about 5 minutes to prepare his food in the morning, every day. No decision making, pop, let's go.
Yeah.
But on the weekend, he prepared the food, and he only had to do it once. So, who was it? I think it was Mark Zuckerberg and somebody else. Zuckerberg did it for sure. Somebody else did it as well. He got 15 pairs of jeans and a t-shirt that looked exactly the same, and he put them in his closet. And in the morning, let's go. As opposed to, what do I wear today? Because that's fine. You're thinking. You want to minimize the effort that you're putting in, because if you're thinking hard in the morning on what you want to wear, what's going to happen when you go to work? What's going to happen if you eat? So it's very interesting to prepare your meals ahead of time for whether you're an athlete or not. I like that idea.
Yeah.
I like it.
Just know where you're focusing your energy on. And
No, not if you, especially if you live alone. Sorry to interrupt you. Especially if you live alone, wouldn't be a bad idea to go shopping every day. Go shopping once a week and getting only the food that you need. So I'm gonna have a steak. Great, that's it for Sunday. It's Sunday. Monday, salmon. Tuesday, chicken. And then you put the broccoli, put them in a certain box in the fridge, and then when you want to wake up or if you have dinner at night, you prepare it. It's organized, system.
definitely.
Systems work.
Definitely.
Yeah.
It's faster and it's easier. So that works with anything, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so say my goal is to start going to the gym at 6 a.m. And then like your alarm goes off at 5:30 a.m. and you're like, why am I going to the gym at 6 a.m. again? I just snooze for a little bit, you know? So you don't have that thing to hold you accountable. But if the night before, let's say, you pack your bag, put your socks out, you put your sports outfit out, your water bottle is right next to your bag, like everything is ready.
Everything's ready. You just have to get up and then you've completed that task.
Just have to do the 5-second rule that you said. So alarm goes up, 3, 2, 1, get out of bed, wash your face. Oh, and don't think about what it is you have to do in the gym. So don't think about, oh, I have to do squats, I have to do this. Where am I going to get the energy from? Know that in the moment you will have the energy. Just right now, focus on right now. Get out of bed. I wash my face. I pray. Have a coffee. Don't make any decisions before, like,
one step at a time.
One step at a time. Have a coffee, get your bag, leave the house. One step. When you're in the gym, stretch first, like warm up on the treadmill. I guarantee you, slowly, you'll build up that energy, and in the first exercise, you'll be good to go.
It's really simpler than, somebody said, we talked about a success task. He said, number one is going to be harder than you think. And number two, promise number one. Promise number two is it's going to be easier than you think. Because once you get started, you're like, oh, it's really, really hard. But once you take step number two, oh, wow, it's really easy. Right? And when you get to the gym, I always say, for people who want to lose weight, I say, just go for a run. Go to the gym, use a treadmill. Drive to the gym to walk on the treadmill. All right. So go to the gym. Fine. They say, yeah, but I can't get there. All right. If you wake up, let's say at 6 in the morning, you wake up, you open your eyes, and you're on the treadmill running. Would you stop or would you go home? No, if I'm on the treadmill, that's great. Fair enough. Let's say you wake up and you're in the gym, or you're in the car parked outside of the gym. No, we'll go. Fair enough. I'm like, all right. What if you were in the car outside of your house? You didn't have to go through the waking up and getting out of bed and brushing. You're in the car. Like, all right, yeah, we're not gonna. You're not gonna walk out of the car and go into the house and go to bed, right? And take your clothes off and where you're gonna go to the gym. Fair enough. What if I'm rewinding right now? What if you're dressed and you're getting ready to go to the gym? Would you put everything down and go back to bed? No. So the first step before that is getting out of bed. So if you get out of bed, step number one. Step number two is getting in the car with all your stuff. It's that first step that stops everybody. Because I just proved to you every other step you're going to be okay with. It's just step number one. The same thing applies in every area of your life. Giving up the sodas or giving up the cigarettes or whatever. It's that first step. But you have to have an alternative. All right, if I don't, because you have two choices. You could eat when you wake up. You can either snooze and go back to sleep, or you can get up. Now, if you understand the danger of snoozing, there's a danger in snoozing. It's very, very bad for you. You have no idea. When you wake up and you say 5 minutes or 10 minutes or another hour, whatever it is, if you snooze, if you wake up and don't get up, you are hurting yourself. And I'll tell you why. There's science behind it. You know what? You know about REM.
Yeah.
You know about the sleep cycle.
Yeah.
So every hour and a half, you have a complete an hour and a half to an hour and 40 minutes. Well, let's say 90 minutes. Yes, you complete a cycle of 4 stages. What happens is, if you sleep, let's say for 3 hours, that's 2 cycles. For 6 hours, that's about 4 cycles. So if you wake up after 6 hours or 7 hours or whatever, you've completed a set of cycles, right? Now, let's say you wake up at 6 in the morning, and you get up, and you realize, oh, I'm tired, I want to get some sleep. And you go back to sleep, and the alarm rings again in 5 to 10 minutes. What's going to happen? When you went to sleep, instead of sleeping for another cycle, 90 minutes, you woke up in the middle of the cycle, or in the beginning of the cycle. The cycle is broken. You did not get the full cycle. You did not get the rest that you needed. God forbid you do it again and again and again. So when you get up, you feel exhausted, you need more energy, I need my Red Bull, or I need my coffee, or whatever it is, or I need more rest. It's because you're breaking cycles. If you want to sleep for 6.5 hours, wake up in 6.5 hours. If you want to sleep for 9 hours, wake up at 9. But whenever you get up. Don't go back to sleep. It is as dangerous as getting into the ring and say, I'm going to beat him up, I'm going to get in a fight, I'm going to win. And the moment you're in the ring, oh my God, I don't want to be here. What are you doing? Either get in or don't. So I learned that recently. About an hour and a half.
Because I think with deep cycles too is that every person's body is different. So you know how they tell you get 8 hours of sleep? Every person's body is different. Some people complete their cycle. Some people need 2 cycles. Some people need 3 cycles. So it depends on you. So how do you know how many cycles you need? Do it intuitively. So go to bed, look at the time, And then the time that you wake up, you feel refreshed without needing to go back to bed. Look at the time again. You'll probably see that it's like 7. Like for my body, it was just 6 hours. I need 8 hours. So I stuck to 6 hours, and intuitively I wake up at the same time every day, go to bed at the same time, and it's just comforting to know that you don't need like a science-based number. It depends what your body needs.
Depends on you. I'm totally against the 8-hour sleep. People are gonna freak out. No, I'm against it because some people need more.
Yeah.
Some people need less.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you this. I don't want to generalize, but almost every person that I know that is successful, whether it's fitness or business or any type of success, and people that we've read about, they all tell you that they sleep anywhere between 3 to 4 to 5 hours a day. I don't know what that says, but I feel that the more you need to recharge your batteries, the less the efficiency of the system is. I think. I don't know. I prefer sleeping less, for me. Maybe it's me theory. I think you're right. Everybody needs to find out what their number is, and then they'll go from there.
It depends on your lifestyle.
Yeah. Even with food, by the way. Some people cannot digest, let's say, meat. Or they can, but they don't like meat. Go vegan, fine. But you cannot generalize and tell everybody to, all right, everyone's going to eat this. It's like it's like standard education.
Yeah, exactly. Sleeping. Oh, because let's say you're a fitness person, or like, I don't know why I said fitness person. Let's say a person who exercises.
Fitness person, that's fine.
Yeah. Then you kind of do need more sleep than the average person, because your body does need time to recover and repair, and your body releases growth hormones while you're asleep to be able to like repair your nails and your hair, your muscles. Because when you're in the gym, you're in a catabolic phase where you're tearing down those muscle fibers, and then the actual work is outside the gym where you're repairing them through your food and through your sleep. So it is important, if you have a fitness goal, that you do get the right amount of sleep in, 6 hours, let's say, or 7. But I guess it would be completely different if someone else's goal is to like be the top CEO.
Yeah, I just thought about it right now. These guys, the ones I mentioned, were top CEOs. They're not professional athletes. If you're an athlete, yeah, you definitely need to sleep. Don't pull off an all-nighter and go to the gym and train again.
Yeah, it's very exhausting. You can, but
they do this in the Navy. The Navy SEALs have something called Hell Week, and
yes, they do.
you know what it is, right? It's amazing. They get you to train for 5.5 days, 6 days nonstop, and you get on average 4 hours of sleep total for the whole week. For the whole 6-7 day period, 5-6 day period. They make you run 180 miles, and they're trying to break you. But then you get a rest. I know that you do it for 12 weeks, but that's only for training purposes. I don't think you're supposed to put yourself under that kind of pressure unless you have to. Rest is important. But don't listen to people that standardize how much rest you need to have.
Yeah.
Or you need to drink, what was it, 2 liters of water a day. How do you know it's 2 liters? It's a myth. Depends on the weight, depends on the gender, depends on
how much energy, how much water you're excreting throughout the day. So maybe where you are, it's not that hot. Maybe people like us here in this country, we sweat a lot, so we need to make up for that lost water, so we need to drink more water. Maybe we exercise in a hot yoga room every day, we need to replenish even more.
It's 31 degrees right now.
31 degrees. It was really humid yesterday.
It's in the morning, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I was doing 2 hours of like cardio by the end of the 12 weeks, so I needed like 6 liters of water by the end of that period. And when you don't drink enough water, your body holds on to water. So if you drink more water, you excrete more water. So this was important to know, because I was just a 1.5 liter person throughout the day, and I did an in-body, and it said I had like way more water than the average person. I realized it's because my body is like holding onto water for dear life. So then I started just drinking a lot of water, and eventually we flushed all of that out, and the in-body said like I was back to an average state. So that's interesting to know. If like maybe you're going to the beach next weekend and you want to look a bit leaner than usual, try to up your water game. and see what happens. Yeah, that was very important to learn. So we covered sleep, we covered food, we covered healthy, mindful routines,
Discipline,
vision,
vision.
accountability. Is there anything else we need to cover with them? Like maybe how to get started?
Yeah, so what's the first step? Let's say somebody heard this conversation, very interested. Okay, great, we want to do this. I want to get to my goal. I want to get fit. I want to lose weight. I want to gain weight, whatever the goal is.
Yeah.
What is step number one?
Okay. Step number one is sit down and think, what do I want? It's simple and it's hard at the same time because
As a result, not what do I need to do to get a result.
yeah, no, what do I want? What's my end goal? Because we as humans we're big. We want so many things at the same time. I want to be strong, I want to be fit, I want to lose weight, I want to look good, I want to win like Miss Universe.
I want to win a marathon, and I want to be able to lift that mountain. Yeah.
That was me.
Me too.
I want to be a powerlifter. I don't want to look good. And then I realized, like, girl, like that's gonna take a long time. Like, you need to break this down into periods. You know, I tried to be both at the same time, and that's why I look that way. But anyways,
You're trying to do many things at the same time.
Yes. So you kind of need to compartmentalize your goals and know, because that's less draining. So knowing that my sole purpose right now is this, and when I achieve this,
Yeah.
I'll move on to this.
Yeah.
So if you're starting out, just sit down and say, what is my goal? So let's generalize it, because most people's goal is to lose some fat.
Yeah.
Right? So first thing is why? Why do you want to lose fat? So that's step 2 actually. So what's my goal? Why? Why do I lose fat? So maybe it's as simple as I want to look good on summer vacation with my family in the resort I'm going at. Perfect. When is it? 2 months from now.
Yeah.
There's a date now, so your goal has a date, and you said this the other day. Like a goal without a date is just a dream, right? So
You have a place at a time. We're gonna be at that resort on that date, on that day, with these people. So you're populating that data in your brain. You have a picture. Now the only thing left is for me to be there with my body without carrying that 6 kilos of fat. I just have to take that 6 kilos of fat and dump it.
yeah. So
And then it's step 3.
then it's the next step. Yeah, so that's step 3, right? So then step 4 is, okay, what do I need? Okay, so maybe right now you're just starting off. Like you've never been in the gym.
And they have no idea of the systems. They've never been coached. They don't know what they're doing.
They don't know what they're doing. Okay? But don't be intimidated. Everyone has to start off somewhere, right? So step 1, what do I need or who do I need? Maybe you need a coach. Maybe you don't want to invest in a coach right now. Maybe you just need a friend or a partner. So partner, done.
You could get a coach without having to pay a lot of money. You could just call somebody that you know that knows what they're doing and say, hi, I cannot afford a coach. I need your advice. What should I do? And they'll give you, let's say, a 5-minute introductory piece of advice saying, read this, watch that, do 1, 2, 3 every day for the next 3 weeks. And that'll get you somewhere.
Perfect. So guidance.
Yes.
So let's say your friend, your very nice, knowledgeable friend, suggested that you go online and follow a program, a beginner's program. Perfect. Next step, find this beginner program. Okay, it's 4 weeks. Beautiful. It fits into my goal. We said 2 months. Is there summer vacation? Oh, that's 8-week goal.
Yeah.
So 8 weeks. Okay, these are the exercises for 8 weeks. These are the calories I should be eating. Download, let's say, MyFitnessPal. Start logging in how many calories that is. How much does it fit in with my schedule? So just start breaking down your goal. And okay, you know how your life is going to look like for the next 8 weeks. Okay, I work from 9 to 6. I feel tired after work. I need that time to be with my family and go to sleep early. Khalas. So the only time I have to work out is 6 to 7, let's say, or 7 to 8. Perfect. So then you write that down. So like you write down your life for the next 8 weeks, basically.
Yeah.
You know, discipline, consistency, faith.
You feel happy. I'm happy just listening to that plan.
Yeah, because it's broken down to you. How do you eat an elephant?
Chop you down into 20 pieces. 200 pieces.
One bite at a time. We chop the. No, I don't want to chop elephants.
How do we eat a gigantic cake?
Pie.
Huh?
What?
Pie, yeah, pie.
Pie.
Okay, whatever.
Let's
it
not use
is.
the elephant metaphor.
Yeah.
It makes me uncomfortable.
I love elephants. They're very cute.
Yeah. And okay, so then you scheduled the next 8 weeks, right?
Yeah.
Your fitness schedule, your what you're gonna eat. Now, okay. So now into action. Now I need what groceries do I need? Okay, so make a grocery list. Perfect. Buy those groceries. Meal prep. Okay, when do I have time? My only time is on the weekend. Saturday is my only free time. Perfect. Prepare your meals. So now they're gonna go bad in the fridge all week. Let's take half, put it in the freezer. You know that way you just take it out and freeze it. I know you lose some nutrients by freezing your food, but we're talking about someone who's just starting off and they just need that.
You're not
fuel.
competing for the world championship. You can start off with a plan that is 70% good for you.
Yeah, exactly. Definitely.
Yeah.
So just getting started, getting that engine going. Perfect. Next thing, that journal where you're writing everything down, start logging in anything at the end of each day. Like, good job, today you did 5 minutes on the treadmill. It's a start.
Yeah.
It's still better than the person you were yesterday.
Yeah.
You're one step ahead. Beautiful. Then you just take, I think your best friend is the mirror and your performance goals.
She always tells you the truth.
Yeah, and your measurements. The scale might be off sometimes because of that water retention we were talking about, and the fact that you're new to the gym, so you may have put on a bit of muscle. So the scale might stay the same, but your waistline may be a bit nice and smaller, so your pants will fit better, so you can have something.
Sorry, if you look lean, think of the body that you want to have, the body type. If you have that body and you look perfect, you look lean, you are lean, you can run around without losing energy, but you weigh 90 kilos. Do you care what the machine says? If you look good, you feel good, everything's great. Nobody, it's not going to be 90, it could be 60 or 50, whatever. But nobody cares about the number if on a result level, you're getting what you want.
If your goal is to just feel good and energetic, that's a beautiful goal too. And
or to complete the 20 pull-ups non-stop. What is your first goal performance, if you don't want to ask?
My first performance goal was ever like.
No, I mean right now, the next one.
This one right now, it's to be able to do around like 10 non-stop pull-ups. I know it's a small number, but I picked 10 for a reason. Because it's gonna lead me to my next
Starting
goal.
with 10. Your first goal is 10.
Yeah, my first goal is 10, and then I have other goals obviously, but my first goal is 10.
Good.
So that's my performance-based goal. And for example, before when I was training my back every other day because I needed to work on it, it didn't look as aesthetic as it does now when I'm doing pull-ups all the time to try and reach that goal. Now it's like, girl, I even do the exercises you're supposed to do to get my back into that shape. I'm doing a performance-based goal, so that's what I mean. Like, aesthetics follow as a result of performance.
Yeah.
So maybe your goal is, I want to deadlift my body weight. So as a result of you deadlifting all the time, you will build those fuller looking legs that you've always wanted as a result as well.
And in performance, I always usually use numbers. So 75, when I was in high school, I did 75 push-ups and I stopped, and I was stuck at that number, 75.
Yeah.
Like, great, now let's get to 80. When I got to 80 or 90, it's like, oh, wow, great, let's get to 100.
Yeah.
Let's do 100 under a minute. You have that target that you keep moving forward and forward.
Yeah.
It motivates you.
Yeah.
Right? Especially when you challenge your friends or your teammates, rather. All right, let's get that number. And then you're going after it.
Right.
It changes things.
Yeah.
If you cannot measure it, you can't manage it. You won't be,
So that's a really good point, actually. So now that they've got that fuel and they're going through, okay, they're done week 1. Okay, and now you don't want to think about, I still have 7 weeks to go. No, think about, I just completed week 1 and treat yourself. So treats are important, and I don't mean food. I mean think of literally anything else besides food to treat yourself with. Get a massage. You just started working out. Your body has a bit of aches. Get a massage, deep tissue. Get your hair done. Maybe you're a guy. Get a new backpack. Something that makes you feel good.
Yeah.
Okay. And then another thing is to help you with the visualization we're talking about. Let's say you're going on that vacation 2 months from now. You're gonna want a new swimsuit to show off that nice physique you've been working on, right?
Yeah.
So buy that size that's a bit smaller than right now. And it's gonna sound silly, but you can even pin your swimsuit on like your wall.
Or you could
It's
buy,
right
or you
there.
could buy your swimsuit. You can go.
Yeah,
I always
buy
say, go buy the most expensive jeans you can find, or dress. You know, if you want to go to a wedding, buy the most expensive one you can find at the size that will never fit you right now. Your ideal size. So it's a size 5 or 8 or whatever size for women. And when you get it, you're gonna. Oh wait a minute! I cannot not get there now. I put all on that dress or on those jeans, and every day or every week, that Friday day off, when you try and get on, all right, it's not fitting. The next week or the week after, it's loosening. Oh, okay, all right, and then you get there. And I've done this with jeans, and it works.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It does work.
So
I did it with a wedding dress that was supposed to fit, not my wedding dress, like a friend's wedding, and we were supposed to wear red dresses, and I found a beautiful one, and I'm like, it's literally the only one in the store. That's the only size. It's exactly what I want. Just buy it, girl. So my mom and I bought the dress, and I was like, it's a really small size. So I'm like, don't worry. Like, we're gonna achieve the goal, remember?
yeah.
Yeah. So it was hanging in the closet for another 4 weeks, and then I tried it on, and it fit nicely, and I was really happy by that, because I'm gonna keep doing that, like you said.
Yeah.
I love the concept, and I feel like it would work for anyone, and it made me feel good. So I want you guys to feel that feeling as well of hey, I did it, you know. And so journal, pictures, could even be quotes, whatever it is to keep that like inner fire burning. Maybe, you know what helped me? Good music. I downloaded good music and podcasts, and like when I was doing all that cardio, I would listen to some podcasts.
While training.
While training. And then also, there's times in the day where you're not training, you can increase your energy expenditure. So like park your car further and like walk to the office. So that increases the energy you're spending throughout the day.
I don't do this to lose weight, but anywhere when I'm parking in a mall, the first parking that I find, just park there. I don't want to be the guy driving around for 20 minutes trying to find the closest parking. You would have been in the mall and done by already. So, but that's good, parking your car far away. When I was in Finland, I used to walk everywhere. I had my license, international license, that I never drove for about a month, and I would walk everywhere, literally. And you get into the habit of it, because here in Dubai nobody walks; it's too hot. So you get into the habit of it, and you feel better when you walk.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I had a situation a couple of days back at work, and then when I went for a walk by accident. I was on the phone, decided to go for a walk at the park, and I went back and felt differently. What neurotransmitter just fired right now? Oh, serotonin, great, or whatever. I think it was serotonin. So like, wow, interesting. Wow, interesting. It's good.
Okay, one more thing.
Yeah.
Also, to do with enjoying the journey. Just so that you're not always alone and training alone and just focusing on that goal alone. Why not join some group classes? And what would be fun is maybe on week 1 you were barely able to get through that body pump class or that like core class, but maybe on week 3 you're able to get through half. By the end, you might even be able to get through the whole thing and feel good. So you not just do you get to crush your goals, but you also get to do it amongst interesting people and socialize. So that was
you
something.
meet great people.
Yeah, you do, and I want to thank you for that, by the way. So Hassan helped me out 2 weeks ago. Hassan's like, okay, so what's your goal? I was like, Hassan, literally, it's just to meet people. Like, I've just been training alone for the past, how many months, since September, just alone all the time. Like, I want to meet people. Like, I want to enjoy this with people. So I downloaded an app called Guava Pass where you can just sign up for a month and go to unlimited classes. And when I did that, I found myself just sitting there like, I don't know where to start. Like, you know, when it's outside your comfort zone, and it was like we were saying about 6 a.m. Like, you don't really want to wake up at 5:30 and do all that preparation. So I told Hassan about it, and he's like, 5-second rule, just book a class now and go. So literally in the next 5 minutes, I picked a class for the morning. I was okay, fine, 6 a.m. I clicked okay, and the beautiful thing about the app is that if you don't show up, you pay a fine, like, of like 50 dirhams or something.
Yes.
So you have to cancel in advance. And because I booked at 6 a.m., like, you'd have to cancel at 3 a.m. And I'm like, okay, it's 4 a.m. I can't snooze. Like, I have to show up to class.
I like that. That's good.
And the thing is, I showed up and I ended up loving every minute of training. I met interesting trainers. I met interesting people. The music was so good. The training was beautiful. I was like, how did I limit myself? How did I not try and do this before? It's just because our mind tries to keep us safe, like you said. We're in this comfort zone. So after that first class, it just became like an addiction. Just like signing up to all these classes. And I wrote it down. I set a goal. I was like, okay, a week from now, I want to have completed at least 7 classes. And every time I would, I'd like write down the class and I took it down. And it's really helping me reach my pull-up goal, because I met a bunch of people who are doing pull-ups like it's chips, like they warm up with. So now that I surround myself with these people,
They warm up with pull-ups. I like that.
so now I'm around the kind of people I want to be like, and now my head is like, they do it so easily. Like, girl, like, it's so easy. You can do it too. It just makes me feel less anxious about it, and it made me set higher goals.
Yeah.
So thank you for that push.
Yeah, I did nothing.
That's
But-
what I mean. Have someone you can call and ask. Maybe someone, you know, like, we don't all have all the answers.
The person next to you in the gym, ask him.
Reach out.
Yeah, I need to ask you a question. How did you get these muscles? How are you doing push-ups for pull up as a warm-up? How? They'll
Yeah.
eventually tell you. They'll eventually. Okay, people want to help. I always say people really
People
want to
want
help.
to genuinely help you. Yeah, they do.
All right.
What
Anything
else did we not
Do you want to add anything else?
cover? Life, relationships.
We didn't cover a lot of things, so you're coming back on the podcast again. But
yeah, I think we need to cover the mind more, because it's a very deep topic and we barely touched the surface on that, because it's all about having a positive foundation, and when you have that, then you're your own source of fuel. So we didn't even go into meditation, we didn't even go into how to be centered and how to be focused, and that's a whole beautiful journey on its own. And if you guys have any questions, Hassan's going to give you my...
I'll post everything down in the description, from your website to your Instagram feed and everything else.
Yeah, I don't have a website yet.
You will when I post it.
I
went all the way to the bar, and I'm going back on the website and the book. Oh my god!
I love it. But we'll break it down into goals, remember?
Yeah. Just send me the details. I'll put it in there. And thank you very much for coming all the way. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having this as an outlet.
Yeah, no, of course. And the beautiful thing is, you used to listen to these podcasts on the when you're going from Abu Dhabi to
That's so true.
I'm listening to myself. I'm like, what are you listening to?
Hassan, this was exactly a year ago. Okay, exactly a year ago, I was in a job where I had to drive to Al Ain 3 times a week. And I'm the kind of person who falls asleep while sitting down for that long, because I like to stand up and stuff. So once I did
First thing you said when you got out of the car.
When I saw it, I was like, I can't believe I sat down for that long. So I used to listen to Hassan's podcasts to keep me awake, and I I was laughing because
So glad they didn't put you to sleep. That's all I'm glad about.
The second podcast was the laughter yoga. It was the first
That was
time I
Jody.
heard-
No, the second one was with Caroline. Jody was probably podcast 4 or 5 or something. Yeah, it was one of the first ones.
Yeah, I was so engrossed in everyone's stories, and I was just like, how beautiful is it to be able to share such knowledge on like Hassan's podcast? You never know. Like your thoughts become your feelings become your thoughts, and your thoughts become your actions. So always be aware of what you're thinking because you wanna reinforce those good values in you, and yeah, be the best version of yourself. I think is the most important thing.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Until next time.
Thanks, guys.